Historically, creating a currency has required tremendous resources, tremendous infrastructure, and this is why it has been mostly limited to nations. With the advent of blockchain technology and smart contracts, that cost has been reduced dramatically. In fact, in a few minutes here, we will create a currency, a cryptocurrency ourselves. What you see before you is a standard for creating a cryptocurrency using a smart contract. It was done often enough that a standard was proposed and it is widely adopted, and that is in ERC20. If you want to look at the contract more closely, the address across the top is able, my name, .mit.edu/erc20.sol. And if we were to scroll through the contract and take a look at the functions, they are very much what you think they would be. How to know how much of the tokens are in supply, how to transfer tokens between two users or two accounts, and so on, as you might imagine. So we're going to go ahead and take the code that is on this page here and copy and paste it to an editor that is online to create smart contracts, the Remix editor from Ethereum. So I'm going to go ahead and select this. I will then open up a new tab, and here I will enter Remix, and I will navigate over to that address. And as you can see here, you get some placeholder contract that you could use. This particular one happens to be for voting. So I'm simply going to use the same file. I'm going to delete the code that is in it, and I'm going to paste the smart contract. Now we're going to do a little bit more than run the code. We're going to modify that smart contract to have a custom name of our choosing. And as you can see there, the default code that I have posted is for a Cocoa token, and we will change that to a Lime token. And so I'm going to go ahead and touch the contract in a few places and change Cocoa to Lime, as you can see here. I'm going to go ahead and do a search to make sure that I don't miss any of those. And I will search for Cocoa. And as you can see it here, we have it a few more times. This is now going to be Lime. And let me scroll down. And I believe this is the last one here. So I'm going to enter Lime. The symbol that we're going to use will be called Lime as well. And this will be the Lime token. Now, as you can see there, we're going to be using 18 decimals. That means that when we make a transfer after we create this, we will need to enter 18 zeros before the value that we're trying to move. That is, unless you want to move less than 1 unit of these tokens. So at that point, we can go ahead and start a compile. We'll get some warnings. We can ignore those for now and go ahead and move to run. And as you can see here, the environment is reading my credentials in MetaMask. And let me make a couple comments about the accounts that I will be using. As you can see here, I have several accounts, and I'm going to be using Alice and Becky. And the reason for that is that these are brand new accounts with no transactions in them. And I will start off with Alice. I will create this cryptocurrency, and I will assign all of the initial tokens to Alice. And that is the default behavior that I have on the smart contract. So let me go ahead and choose that, confirm that I am using Alice. And now if we go back to the editor, we can go ahead and deploy this contract. Once we do that, this will be pushed out onto the operating blockchain. We will have an address, and we will be able to create a transaction here and move around some tokens. So let me go ahead and deploy. Let me make sure I have the right contract. And as you can see, that is going through on the blockchain. You can see there in the middle at the bottom that it says creation of Lime token pending. And I should also note that depending on the MetaMask editor that you have, you'll either get a pop-up, or in my case, I can see there a little notification. And I'm going to go ahead and confirm. As you can see, I'm not transferring any funds. I'm simply making or creating a smart contract. So there are no funds that are moving. I'm going to go ahead and confirm. And now if you give it a minute, that contract will be added into a block and it will be mined. Now it looks like that's gone through. Let's go ahead and confirm. We can do that by clicking here on the transaction. And as you can see, that has a transaction receipt status of success. And you can have here the contract address. And if we navigate to it, you can see there that we have one transaction, which is the creation transaction, plus the token tracker name, the pretty name that we gave it, which is Lime token. Now at this point, if we navigate back to the editor, you'll see here that we are able to invoke the functions and methods that we have within the contract. For example, we can check here the total supply, and you can see that number coming back, and it is 1 million, which it was, I believe, what we created. Let me go ahead and confirm. Yes, plus the 18 zeros. Now we have many others that we could check on. We could check on the symbol. In this case, the symbol is Lime. But what we're going to do is that we're going to transfer some tokens. So we're now pretty wealthy, pretty rich in tokens. We have 1 million of these Lime tokens. And we're going to go ahead and transfer some to the other account that I mentioned. So I mentioned the first account is Alice, and the second one is Becky. And I'm going to go ahead and send Becky some tokens. Now, I have gone ahead and copied beforehand the address to Becky. So I'm simply going to paste it here. Let me go ahead and do it this way, because if I do it this way, the right denotation on the type will be made. And so I'll simply put the two values of the transfer, the first one, which is the address, and then the amount. And in this case, it will be a very big amount. I'm simply going to send Becky 25 Lime tokens. And so I'm going to enter them here at the end. And as you can see there, it is a big number. Now, if I expand this, you can see there that it was putting quotes, which is what I wanted to avoid doing. Now I can go ahead and enter the transaction. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that now. And as you can see there, I have a notification. Let's go ahead and open that up. And it's asking me to confirm this transfer. And I'm going to go ahead and click confirm. And that is now entered into the blockchain. And so we're going to go ahead and wait for it for a minute to see that go through. I believe that has already gone through. So let's go ahead and check that account. As you can see here, I get a notification of 25 Lime being transferred. And so let's go ahead and navigate to Becky. And now if we open up the Becky account, we can go ahead and navigate to the Etherscan. We should be able to see here the token balance. And as you can see there, Becky has 25 Lime. So as you can see here, we have gone end to end. We have gotten some code that was a smart contract, that was an implementation of the ERC20 standard. We created a cryptocurrency, and then we transferred some of that cryptocurrency using the tools that I have shown you, and we were able to move those amounts as you saw. So this is something fun to try. You can create as many cryptocurrencies as you like, and we will ask you to, with the following address, that you share the tokens that you create with us. So let me go ahead and drag over the account number, and here it is. If you have a QR reader, you do not have to type that in. You can simply read the QR code. So with that, I'll go ahead and code and wish you good luck and a lot of fun in trying out these new contracts and cryptocurrencies.